In today's episode of Tighten Up, I'm going to talk about the NASCAR Pro-Invitational Cup Series race at the Richmond Speedway. And let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Today's race at Richmond was pretty good, I'm not going to lie. You saw the drivers race and do things more cautiously than they did in the past. Following the events that took place with Bubba Wallace at Bristol, where him and Clint Boyer racing extremely hard with one another. Boyer got put into the wall by accident, but Boyer decided to retaliate and wreck Bubba Wallace. And at this time, Bubba Wallace has already used one of his 2 resets. So at this point in time, if he wrecks, his chances of winning are pretty much over with. And Boyer wrecked him, and Bubba Wallace decided to rage quit. And when he rage quit, his sponsor, Blue Emu, did not like that. And they put on his tweet on Twitter, but they're into winners and not quitters. And to them, Bubba Wallace was a quitter. So they ultimately decided to back up from sponsoring him virtually and in real life. So Bubba Wallace had a rough couple of days until Sudoku decided to sponsor him and landed him back on his own 2 feet. So good for Bubba Wallace. He lost a sponsor, but he also gained one. It's a fair deal. Then later on, Easter Sunday, Kyle Larson was racing in the Mazda Madness with a lot of other top NASCAR drivers, Anthony Alfredo, so many others. And he said a word that no one should ever say. And then early that next day, Monday morning, Chip Ganassi Racing decided to suspend his pay, so he's not getting paid for a certain amount of time. But later on that day, Credit One Bank, McDonald's, Clover, and a couple other side sponsors decided to back out from sponsoring him. And that put Chip Ganassi in a hole. Become Tuesday morning, he had to make the difficult announcement that he's going to fire Kyle Larson. Is either keep Kyle Larson and lose the sponsors, or keep the sponsors and lose Kyle. So he ultimately decided to keep the sponsors and lose Kyle. So right now, he's going to have to find a replacement driver, which is probably going to be Ross Chastain or Jamie McMurray. But that's for a whole nother episode. But entering today's race at Richmond, I know for a fact all these drivers were told by teams and sponsors to do things more cautiously, and they did. And another thing was there was 0 resets in the past 2 weeks, or 3 races. You had resets, and today you didn't. So if you wreck, if a lot of damage, your day is done. So you probably know, I know Clint Boyer did a good thing here. He wrecked early on. It was either have a repair time for 26 minutes or just go back out there and go a little bit slower. He obviously did that. They give his sponsor Peak some airtime. So that's giving the sponsor some more recognition, which is a great thing. I think it was stupid of them to get no resets due to the time right now. Sponsors are losing lots of money. I think they should give them a couple resets, because if they done, you don't see that. But William Byron, though, I'm going to talk about the race. William Byron started off, he was running top 5 for early on. Ryan Priest was dominating. Ryan Priest used up his tires the first run of the race, and he started falling back to lower parts of the top 10. And that's when William Byron took over the lead, and he did not look back. He dominated for the rest of the race. And yeah, he ended up winning the race. This is his 2nd race won in the Pro-Invitational Series. He won last race at Bristol. Timmy Hill won at Texas. And Denny Hamlin won at Homestead. Just a great couple of races. And it's a good thing that they're putting this on for fans and sponsors, more importantly. The sponsors need this. Through these rough times right now, sponsors are losing a lot of money. And if this going on right now is giving the sponsors some recognition and giving them something to look forward to. I know for a fact a lot of these sponsors might go bankrupt after all what's going on right now. So right now, to get their minds off of it is a good thing. But my biggest issue is they need to stop not having resets and give them more resets so the sponsors can get more recognition. But overall, everybody, please like and subscribe. I'm really close to 1,000. I'm 300 away, but to me, that's extremely close. I want to hit that by the beginning of the summer, but for me, it's like the beginning of June. So if you don't mind, help me out and go subscribe down below. Everybody, peace and have a great day.